So firstly, nice meeting you and to be part of this panel. This is a lot of questions with not so easy answer, honestly. So I suppose we will share also presentations that we prepare to that effect after. And let's be, let's say, step by step, try to find a step-by-step explanation. Photosol is a French IPP. We have a presence in Europe across 6 countries. So we have a systemic approach, I would say. And if we, presentation now? Yeah, it would be good, I guess. If we can share the presentations, would be probably helpful. And hopefully we will address, let's say, 50% of your questions will be. It's a never-ending story anyway, I'm sure.
In which countries is Photosol currently investing in Europe?
Well, I could answer that it would be in the presentations, but
okay.
no, we are active in Spain, in Italy, in Poland, in Bulgaria, and obviously in Romania. And makes sense in France. This is our main market so far. We are French IPP for more than 15 years now. We start our activities in 2008, yeah, more than 15 years. We were from the first wave of those French developers becoming IPP step by step. Right now we have more than 1 gigawatts under operations or constructions in France. And we aim, I will enter into further details after, but we aim to have approximately 2.5 gigawatts under operations in France by 2030. And obviously we have also planned for international. And Romania is one of our key markets where we intend by 2030 to have a portfolio of 400 megawatts. This is the main point of PV, and because this is something we do not dissociate. Let's say PV and storage are coming now together.
This is what we're witnessing in Romania as well, and down the stream I even acknowledge that consumers are becoming more educated in this respect. And for example, if you want to close a PPA, they ask the investor, do you also have storage? Because by doing this, you will be able to score a better balancing cost and thus a better PPA price for the consumer. So that's becoming relevant, and especially for Romania, in the context that we're injecting more and more renewables, and we don't have too many capacities to deliver baseload power.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only clients, I will say also that there is lenders. But this is now not only a question mark for lenders, but almost mandatory to have storage capacity. We saw in the past a possibility to finance full merchant project. This is no longer the case. And as IPP, with a long-term view, we anyway want to reduce our market exposure by getting more contracted revenue. So I think in that way, the planets are aligned.
Difficult to score contracted revenues. The latest electricity market design from the European Commission and the revised Renewable Energy Directive mentioned 2 key financial instruments to finance renewables. Those are the CFD and PPA.
Yeah.
What's your experience with these instruments on other markets, and what can be learned from other countries?
Well, I would say that as French IPP, we have a lot of experience with CFD because the French market is based on CFD. We have more and more corporate PP, obviously. Oh, our nice presentations. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Well, it's not, we have not 100 slides. You know, we have only a few slides just to illustrate these discussions. So Photosol, as I said, is one of the French leading IPP. We are part of Rubis Galaxy, a French listed oil and gas company. And you can find here a few figures about Photosol, 2024 key figures. As I already said, we have approximately 1 gigawatts under operations or constructions in France, 97 operational solar PV plants, more than 5 gigawatts under development at various stages. One thing which is super important for us, we own 100% of our PV plant. Since the very beginning, we never sold those assets, and we have approximately 300 employees in France, Italy, Romania, I'm pleased to say that, and Spain. So you will find also here a map where you can easily identify our targeted footprint in Europe by 2030. So there is, internally, we try to structure that with a rational, meaning we have 4 different typology of country. One is our main market, France, obviously, where we intend to have 2.5 gigawatts, I already say that, by 2030 under operations. What we call the recent entry, so Spain and Italy. We enter into those markets in 2023, so it's pretty fresh, I say it. And we intend in those 2 countries, respectively, Italy 750 megawatts and Spain 400 megawatts in 2030, once more. We have the third typology, which is the ongoing developments so far in Poland, Romania, and Balkans. And what I mean by Balkans so far, it's Bulgaria. And in those countries, we can see that we have also some significant targets. In Poland, 470 megawatts. In Balkans, including Bulgaria, 750. And I will explain why 750, taking into considerations only Bulgaria, it looks a lot, I know. But this is not only Bulgaria. And obviously, and straight to the point, this is where we are more interested, 500 megawatts. And I think I did a mistake, I said 400 early, so 500. And the last typology is the analytical playground, and this is where Balkans means, in fact, the other country around. We have started, let's say, an analytical exercise on each of those markets. Why it's not clearly identified as ongoing development is because the exercise is ongoing. So we intend on the region to have 750 megawatts by 2030 in the portfolio, excluding Romania. So if we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So, interesting questions. Why Romania? And this is linked to the questions you asked a few minutes ago. We try to summarize this rationale in 4 pillars, let's say. Our strategic decisions is based on 4 pillars. The first one is the existing and structuring electricity markets. The second pillar is attractive market size. The third one is developed financial ecosystem. And the last one is maturing corporate PPA markets. So let's dig a little bit in each of those pillars, if you have time. So existing and structuring electricity markets, there is an obvious progressive phase out, of course, shift away from Russian gas. And I have to be very careful when I will announce 56% of renewable by 2030, because there is some people here who knows better than me those figures. Capacity market to be created, and this is also something which is we foresee here in Romania, and strong public support towards solar, with EU support, like EU support scheme, like CapEx grant, CFD, these kind of things. So this first pillar helped us to take that decisions also. So the second one, attractive market size, it's one of the largest growth rate and size in the region, from 4.9 gigawatts in 24 to approximately 8 gigawatts in 2030. Mitigable development risk and fast processes. And I can say that because we are French. We know how to compare fast process and slow process. More than happy to discuss about comparison, by the way. And strong regional interconnections grid between 14 countries across Central and Eastern Europe. The third pillars, develop financial ecosystem, is a strong presence of commercial banks, obviously, and private equity funds also. And the last one is maturing corporate PPA markets, and maybe it addressed a few questions you had. 346 megawatts of corporate PPA signed in 24. This is a strong signal for us. Notably, 17 years PPA with Saint-Gobain, the French company, of 84 megawatts. As a French company, we like to see what the other French are doing. So this is the main point. And also, and this is something we are looking for, is AIB full integrations in 27, hopefully. For us, it's accelerator for PPA.
Indeed, that was a good news after so many years of advocating for this. On the slide that you provided, just one question.
Yep.
Do you have the experience of the Polish market with the capacity market auction?
In Poland.
Yeah.
In Poland. So we are struggled, obviously, in Poland to get the capacity. We have some experience in Poland, obviously. We have a few assets under development. It's super challenging to get the capacity because this first in, first out rule is an issue, honestly, and the lack of transparency about available capacity. But we are doing what the other developers are doing. I mean, we have no specific competitive advantage in Poland. Is we ask the capacity. If we have to face with refusal, we ask a second time. And we have to face again with refusal. We ask a third time until we got it.
Good. I'm just asking because I see bottlenecks in boosting up the standalone storage capacities in Romania. And what the Polish did was to promote this by using the capacity market. And I just wanted you to share your experience with this. Sorry?
No. It's a good point. No. Indeed, it's very. But I think we have to compare apple to apple, and indeed, Poland is super different than Romania. We think that the situations in Poland is super difficult for the main reason that there is also a lot of speculations on this market. And this is one of the points we will discuss after anyway. This slide is just to give you in a nutshell where we stand for. I have some notes, so I don't want to forget something. So you can see here a very simple time scale. We start the journey in 24 with our strategic partner HVAC. At that time, we decided to have our HQ for the region in Bucharest. So we are right now in the deployment phase for the next 5 years, targeting approximately 1.25 gigawatts portfolio in the Balkans, including Romania and Bulgaria in 2030. There is some ambitious here, yes, plan. Many challenges to face with, no doubt. And one of the main challenges will be to secure at least 50% of contracted revenues, mainly corporate PPA. But this is one of the fundamentals we are ready to be one of the challenger. That's it. And we are trying to prepare ourselves to that. It's a matter of time, we think. It's a matter of time. If you can go to the next slide, please. So this one, and following this, let's say, brief presentations about who we are and why Romania is a key market for us, we want also to seize this opportunity to for sharing as IPP, let's say, some considerations, and probably this is open discussions or open questions, and we identify 3 angles. There is many more, obviously, but this is probably 3 angles interesting to discuss during those 2 days. So more than happy to have discussions about that, and after, life is not stopped tomorrow, hopefully. Those 3 angles, and we try to summarize, let's say, the main topic we suggest to discuss about together, is first one, ensure the credibility of the investors, and this is a fundamental for us. Bring certainty by commitments on both sides, and minimize cannibalization's effect. It's a big topic in other countries. There is no magic wand, but this is something we are super keen to discuss about. So let's dig a little bit more also in those 3 angles. The first one, ensure the credibility of the investor. So I don't want to hurt the sensitivity of some people, but barrier to entry can have a positive impact on the markets, reducing speculations. So, for example, financial guarantees to be brought by the developers, cash, SBLC. We referred just before to Poland. There is a cash guarantee to a deposit to be put when you ask the capacity. It's an interesting barrier, I guess. Long stop dates to develop the assets, referring to processes obviously under the control of the developer, and not other processes, not under our control. Once capacity is awarded to the developer, we think that a long stop date has a positive impact. The second angle, and this is once more open questions, brings certainty by commitments on both sides. Developer, IPP, and public authorities should ensure connections, permits are provided, and align with expected timelines. So, for example, a one-stop shop to be implemented in the territorial planning, urban planning, and constructions code to reduce the bureaucracy. And as French, we know what means bureaucracy also. And ensure the grid capacity at COD, and remove the priority within the queue based on the ATR issuance date, which leads to the risk of operational limitations translated into financial losses. And the last angles, minimize cannibalization's effect. I'm sure that there is many people who have some good idea about that. We are still struggling on our side to understand how we can mitigate this risk. And the high imbalance cost with strong supports for BESS. We see BESS as a potential mitigations. This is not the only one solutions, but this is a mitigations. BESS could, or even I would say should, become always compulsory for every new PV plant. Picasso and Mary to be operational as soon as possible. And a minimal price for CFD are few thoughts we may have, to discuss about. So if you can maybe go to the next slide, please. This is the last one. He wants to reassure you.
Well, I'm sure your ask list is actually the ask list of many of the investors in the room.
Yeah,
so
I think so. So
can
once more than happy to brainstorm with you during those 2 days and after, obviously. And I think my 10 minutes are almost elapsed. Hopefully I don't take too much time. You will find the contact details of our amazing Mihai, our country manager based in Bucharest, and mine, but I'm not so important. Mihai is more. Thank you.